good afternoon to all of you. When we were in high school, we sometimes have our class reports that help us to enhance our speaking abilities and communicating with other people. We usually use a visual aid as a medium of our reporting. But what is a visual aid? We learned in the past speakers that visual aids are instructional devices that help to clarify and further explain the point of our subject matter. Visual aids can help our speech very effectively unless we don't know how to use it properly. Don't you know that there are some tips and guidelines in when can we present our visual aids? First is to choose the best time to show your visual. Many speakers undermine their speech's effectiveness by showing their visuals at inappropriate times. There are several guidelines on when can we show or present our visual aids. First is to don't display your visual before your speech begins. If your visual are in plain sight before it starts, you deprive your speech in an element of drama or freshness. Your visual aids become the spoiler of your subject matter. But there are some exceptions of these. Of course, you must first prepare your visual before you start, especially if you have a lot of time. So you will not consume your time. You will not consume your time. Second is to display your visual whenever your audience needs help in understanding your point. Especially in a process speech, it is better to show your visual during your speech. Example, your subject matter is all about tools in surgery. Your listeners rather don't have any idea on what the tool is. It's better to show your visual during your speech so they will not mystify the conversation on what the tool looks like. The third is, if the audience comprehension is unharmed, it's acceptable to delay. In a case like this, if your audience comprehension will not unharmed, it's better to put your visuals after your speech. This helps to build the suspense and gain the attention of the audience. Example, if your topic is all about taekwondo and the speaker has a block of 7, the listeners will build the interest and the curiosity of what will the speaker will do on the block of 7. The second tip is to never circulate your aids among the audience. Some speakers try to solve the problem of a too small visual by passing it around the corner. But this is a mistake. People will look their visual instead of listening their information. Example, if your subject matter is all about the jewelry that's made up of limestone, they will look at the visual instead of listening to the information of what the jewelry is composed of. This also prone to distractions and whispered comments of the listeners and their friends or seatmates. Some people try to walk from listener to listener, but this is a poor mistake. Like in the first, it is prone to distraction and whispered comments to the listeners, and the people who are not seeing the object might get bored and distracted. But moreover, the listeners that seeing the visual aid will ask questions that no one to understand. Some people try to solve this problem by, the speakers can solve the problem of too small visual aids by limit in the front of the room and invite the audiences or the listeners to look at the real object after the speech. But if, like I said earlier, when that strategy is only acceptable unless this speech needs to show your visual during your speech. Like, their visual needs to see during the speech. In a case like this, we can have an enlarged image of the object and permit the audience or listeners to look in after the speech. To sum up, the tips in presenting a visual aid is to choose the best time to show your visuals and never secret your visual aids among the audience. At first, it's hard to deliver this kind of strategies, but if we commit to following these tips or guidelines, we can ensure that we can have a very effective speech. Always remember that never depend your speech on your visual aids. They are just a helping device. Visual aids are only 30% of your whole presentation. The most important thing is on how you deliver your speech and how you convey the message to your listeners. Thank you.